Aquarius, welcome to your Celtic cross reading. What's up? What's going on? Show me Aquarius, please. Show me Aquarius. Like always, take it resonates, leave it does not. And if there's more than one energy that's apparent to you on this board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit, yeah? Do keep in mind it's a collective reading about you, but inevitably, but a lot of the times, a them or they pops up. So again, it's about you, okay? But yes, these are indeed general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate. It's normal. It's frustrating, but it's normal. Check your other placements if that's the case, all right? What's going on, please, for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius. What's going on? What's going on, please? The water signs had quite the tale to tell. What's going on with you? Oh boy, what's going on? Okay. The heart of the reading, the Hierophant, crossing, Nine of Pentacles. Oh yes, commitment, or are you good on your own? Or could you be good on your, I don't know. Let's take a look. What's influencing you? The Four of Pentacles holding on. Holding back, holding on. Okay. In your recent past, Nine of Swords, some anxiety there, some stress, exiting, time has passed. It feels like we're running out of time. If you feel like time is up or it's running away from you or you've lost track of time, time's in the exiting position. Okay. Okay, before you, Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment, happiness. Okay. The whole thing. At least that's what we want for folks, you know, to feel that emotional support and satisfaction, at least within their inner circle. It may not be a significant other. We'll see. Okay, strengths. Yeah, I know. Ten of Pentacles. You like your world nice and tidy, foundation strong, stable. Okay. Environment, Six of Swords. There it is again. Something in your environment is shifting and changing or moving away from it. I don't quite know. It could literally be moving too. We'll see. Okay. Hopes and fears, the Moon. Your worst fears realized. Is there stuff under there you're not aware of? Is there some buried secret deep within you that's affecting you? Okay. Outcome, communication, Eight of Wands. Okay, you opened up straight away with the Hierophant. Could be a commitment here, but it's crossing with a sense of individuation with the Nine of Pentacles. Questioning your own sense of commitment. Are you in it? Are you in it? And if you are in it, are you in it for the right reasons? Do you need to step into it? Where are you with that? Let's take a look. Show me that Hierophant, please. Show me the Hierophant. Show me the Hierophant. What's going on? Oh, Lord, the whole thing today. Sniffles, migraine, heavy chest, all that stuff. Oh, my God. Page of Pentacles. It's going to be like that today. It has been like that today. Sorry. Page of Pentacles, the Devil, the Five of Wands. Oh. Oh, boy. I got you locked into a patternized argument here. It doesn't happen all the time with the Page of Pentacles, but it's often enough to be a pattern. Who or what are you fighting against? Is this inside you? Is it externally? It's repetitive, and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon. You can go ahead and tell me it's the Page of Pentacles. It doesn't happen often, but it's often enough for you to recognize it. Who you locking horns with, honey? Could be a battle with the self. I just... Fears about commitment. Arguing about what that means. What did we agree to? Coming back to a sore central point that never really seems to resolve. But it doesn't seem to get worse. But it's always there. Or it has been for a minute. I need to see this Nine of Pentacles crossing you. Show me that Nine of Pentacles. Show me that Nine of Pentacles. I know you want to reach above that pattern with the Hierophant there at the baseline. You want to be above all that. I know. But the thing is, we can't be above it when we won't answer it. Or we don't understand where it's coming from. Tower, Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles. Man. It's like you're saying, I need to change, but the change doesn't stick. And there's something challenging you now that suggests you need to do something, and then you're like, is that part of the trick though? Because I'm pretty sure I've changed and I won't go back to old defaults or old patterns. But not all change is bad, guys. Sometimes we have to change to understand that it's time to evolve. So you're having a hard time understanding when to stick to your guns and say, I no longer default to old, disastrous, pointless habits. I've risen above all that. But that doesn't mean every time there's a chance for you to be influenced that it's automatically negative either. Your responsibility is to understand which is which. Which do you stick to in terms of commitment and tradition? And what changes do you honor so that you yourself can personally evolve and grow and change because you're supposed to as a human being? Not all changes, like I said, are threats. And there's something that keeps coming back up like an old wound or an old argument that will not be let alone. And yet you always feel challenged to rise above it, and you want to with the Hierophant energy. But it also says you're not honoring your choices if you always stay in the same place. Okay. There's a decision here within you that you say you cannot stand on your own 2 feet to make. And that also, what if it's a decision that's based on old fears of the past that you say you no longer participate in, that you're committed to something higher. You will not debase yourself to old arguments and old patterns. You put little into it. That would explain why it's also known to you. You try not to engage in those things anymore. But now you actually have a choice before you to evolve or change and live up to some sort of transformative concept that is the Tower. But the Nine of Pentacles suggests it's crossing or challenging. You're saying you don't know if you can live up to that challenge. And then, by the way, what if it's a trap? What if this is just another manifestation of my old patterns or behaviors? Okay, you have to ask yourself if the proposed change that involves your direct decision-making is good for you or bad for you. I can tell that you like to be settled in your ways. I can. I see that. You take comfort in known structures. You've worked very hard for stability and to make conscientious decisions at the Hierophant level, particularly where it concerns any old default patterns that are destructive in nature with yourself or with someone else. But there's something here that's trying to change you, and you see it, or you're choosing to interpret it as a potential threat of the past, not necessarily change for the better. The Tower is meant to come down for a reason, guys. That means it's built on faulty premises, illusions and delusions, that the sooner we understand that and we incorporate that lesson for what it is, we can actually start altering ourselves for the better. So while you may not, and you have dedicated to your higher self, I will not default to old destructive patterns with myself or with someone else. That doesn't mean all the work is yet solved. Okay. It's almost like you don't trust your independent state. So it's easier for you to say, this is what's known, and that's what I stand by. But there's something in you that requires a state of independence, you as a singular person, as an Aquarius or whoever you are. Aquarius may not be your sun. That makes a decision on your own 2 feet that requires you to adopt a Tower. And you're like, that's not a comfortable thing for me. I don't want to have to make a decision like that on my own. Because you're afraid you'll make the wrong one. Or it'll be, if you make that decision, it might be coming from a bad place of where you used to default to old patterns. It's hard. It's hard because the Hierophant, guys, he tends to stand by what he knows. He's the Hierophant. He's the spiritual enforcer. He stands by the rule book, which means he's not very good with flexibility. That's one of his faults. He has a lot of pros, but all cards in tarot, all energies, all signs have pros and cons. And his is famously to stand up and commit to what's right, which means he doesn't always understand when he's supposed to change or be flexible. It's not his gig. That's the Fool's job. The Fool says, I don't have a known agenda or rule book to play by. I just know I'm trying to be open to life, not put limitations on it. The Hierophant enforces limitations, but they're meant to be good for us, though. So you're saying that you fear change sometimes, especially if it goes outside your established code. And there's something here that speaks to you independently as your own person. And you're like, no, for that reason, I don't trust myself with this decision. So you may not be allowing yourself to evolve, transform, or change because it requires you to act as your own person in some way. I want to see what that proposed growth is with the Nine of Pentacles. So I respect the fact that if you've worked hard to clean up habits and not default to negative thinkings and patterns, I can see where something that requires you to stand up on your own 2 feet and say, this is coming from me, might be challenging in terms of your way of life and how you perceive yourself. Let's see what you're holding on to with that Four of Pentacles crowning you. It's a way to change how you operate and perceive yourself. But if you want to be settled and in your ways, kind of take the thinking out of life, you know, and just kind of enjoy it for what it is in terms of a smooth roller coaster. We don't want that. We want to take the roller out of the coaster is what you're showing me. You just want to coast. You don't want to have to think too hard. You know, you just want to stand by what you can believe in. But guys, if you don't make room for change, you're always going to be caught off guard when it comes times to these decisions, which are inevitable, you know. Influences, changes, particularly in regards to these faulty structures that's trying to get your attention. Hey, Aquarius, pay attention to this. And you're like, I don't know if I can handle that. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. Let's see that Four of Pentacles. Let's see that Four of Pentacles. It's almost like you're saying, I always made the wrong decision about this stuff in the past, and I'm in a place where I'm just trying to coast, man. You know, I think I get you. Let's see that Four of Pentacles. It's crowning. Interesting. Let's just take a look at that. Six of Swords. For some of you, it has to do with moving on, movement. Six of Swords, which I saw over here. Interesting. Four of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Page of Swords. I see you looking at as the Page of Swords, but not being really open to the Ten of Cups. Not yet. It hits you. It hits your spirit. You know, it says the Ten of Cups could really speak to me. Ace of Wands, kind of inspiring. I like the idea of being emotionally diverse. I like the idea of having a larger emotional circle, whatever that is to you, spouse, kids, family, whatever. You're like, but I personally can't see myself getting involved. Interesting. The Ace of Wands, the Ten of Cups. What is that, honey? Because I see that Ten of Cups that you're showing me apprehension about. You like to look at it. You like the idea of it. You like the idea of emotional immersion. Having a steady support system that loves you and cares about you. No matter its source or sources, plural. Ten of Cups can be one person. One person can be your whole emotional support system. Okay? Or it could be many, many people. That's not the point. You're eyeballing it. Page of Swords, but you're also showing me restraint. Four of Pentacles. It's like I like to look at it. I like to see other people operate. I don't know if I want to participate. Yeah, you kind of do, though, with the Ace of Wands. It's a source of inspiration for you to be involved more. You know? I can't tell if you're in there with somebody or not. Because if you are, then why are you looking at this? And if you're not, you want to give yourself permission to enter this kind of arena. Be like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm catching on to you. Let's see that Nine of Swords in your past. The anxiety and stress about what, please? Show me that Nine of Swords. Show me that Nine of Swords. You find the idea inspiring. You do. You're like, I don't know if I can see myself in it. I kind of screwed those decisions up, Christina. I don't know about that, Aquarius. I don't know. You're not convincing me too much about that. I think that is the representation of your old fears and patterns speaking for you in lieu of you putting the cart before the horse, which is something I often do in my readings, you know. It's almost like you're saying, I can't have that. I like looking at it. I like watching other people do that stuff. It's fun. I people watch. I family watch. I love watch. But me, nah, I can't do that. Why? And it's like you don't trust yourself to make that kind of decision about where you're supposed to be and what kind of connections you're supposed to form. And oh my. There it is again. Six of Swords, Two of Pentacles, the Chariot. You're showing me what stresses you out, that you haven't been able to make a dedicated decision to move forward or not, and you hang back. It stresses you out. It really stresses you out. It's like, I'm not good with these big decisions. You question the connections you had made, and you saw the result of those. You question the connections you had to leave behind and where that came from. You don't seem to trust yourself with what you desire. So it's just kind of easier for you to say, I don't desire that. I just like looking at it. I people watch. It's great for others, not for me personally, though. But it's great for others. I support your decision for a 10 of Cups. Myself, I'm not so good with that stuff. I always screw it up. What? Where is that coming from? Past experiences. Okay, fine. You have patterns here. I know. And if you've had enough bad experiences, you'll get into that position. Sure, absolutely. It's possible to get in that position to think they all end up in a one-way street. It's just not true, Aquarius. You have living proof of it every day. I know you see it for yourself, the witness of other things growing, and people are happy. You know, it's just a simple sort of happiness the 10 of Cups is. Who is in your life and why? And how do you find yourself in it? More to the point, how do you feel yourself in it? It even inspires you. But you're like, that's for other people, not me, though. It's something that looks like you've always kind of struggled with. Like, I always screw it up. What is that? I don't like that. I always screw it up. It ever occur to you that perhaps you're just choosing the wrong people? The Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, you're saying you're always confused about what direction to move in. You follow your Chariot. Hey, that's the strength of your particular conviction. If you have to talk yourself out of a connection, it's not for me, and you actually feel that it is, that's a form of self-sabotage and a repeat pattern. If you talk yourself into one because it seems secure, but you're not sure, but you're forcing yourself to participate, that's a pattern fear too, and that's going to otherwise it's going to blow up. That's why I tell people, if you have to talk yourself in of or out of anything, you got to stop. You're not listening to yourself. And if that's what your history is with connections, I can see why it's easier for you to people watch and relationship watch and family watch. You know, it's like you see how somebody else's family is exploding or just getting everywhere, right? Or you see a newly developed relationship and you're like, that's nice. That's nice. Good for them. Good for them. Not me, though, but good for them. See what I'm saying? You feel like there's a lapse there. It's like the timing's never right, or you don't know how to engage or keep it, or you don't know why you can't further deepen it when it interests you. Why do you pull back? You're saying direction, movement, timing, and investment is always wrong for you. Oh, no wonder Wheel of Fortune time has passed. Oh my. Okay. I'm not giving you history. I'm really curious. I really want to understand. I really do. This is, from a psychological point of view, this is actually really interesting. I don't see cynicism in you. I don't. I think when you say, I'm going to stand up for my higher self and my principles, it's whatever code you put in place for you and that you stand by to this day. And it just kind of simplified everything. Like I said, you want to take the actual roller out of the coaster. You know what I'm saying? You just want to coast. Because it just felt like it's easier. And whatever it is you're in, and it works for you, you'll stand by that, but no new information, please. No new decisions, please. I'll just people watch. It's easier for me to look at other people. And yet the hope remains. Despite all your fears of patternized bullshit and missteps, and what if I'm choosing wrong? What if I'm pushing this direction the wrong way, too fast, too much, too soon, or I'm not enough, or I didn't invest right, or da-da-da-da-da-da. I know. All those thoughts, and they are thoughts, are fears, and they're very loud. So it was just easier for you to turn down the volume. But we didn't actually address where they came from. Am I right? I didn't see any healing in there. I just saw a dedication to, I'm going to stick by what I know. And that'll keep me safe. It will do, but it will also keep you separate from life. Remember that. I see you people watching for a reason. In the past, you clearly don't trust your own movements, you know? And the things that it had led you to or connected you to, it still wasn't satisfying. Am I right? Like when I do pick, it's always the wrong one, etc. Okay. 9 of Cups, 8 of Wands, Eight of Wands in the outcome, Four of Cups, Nine of Cups. There's something here that when you last spoke to it, it used to please you a great deal. You personally, Nine of Cups, personally, it felt good to you. You said it's been a long time since you talked with anyone that felt good. And when you last did, it was disappointing. Four of Cups. So the last time you communicated with somebody that felt right, that hit you in the heart just right, you're saying it ended in disappointment. And that's the last you remember of being personally satisfied and feeling love or in love. You're saying that was a long time ago, and you've been trying to avoid patterns ever since, and negative ones, and just trying to let go of this idea of I'm always wrong-footed or in the wrong direction, or I invest in the wrong people, places, time. There's so much of that. It's like rapid gunfire. It just keeps. I know you have reasons. Your reasons are long. Your resume on this one's long. I'm not saying it's not, but I also didn't see you work through it. I saw you chalk it up to a bunch of negative patterns that you won't participate in anymore. It's almost like you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing. And if I just admit that to myself, it'll make life easier. It kind of did, because it kind of put you on a path of just making things smoother for you, but no less satisfied. In order to understand that you're worth satisfaction, you have to know that you love yourself, and you have to be willing to heal and learn from this, and not just kind of like, I just won't do it again. Saying I just won't do it again is not the same thing as healing. Saying I won't get myself involved in any more anything where I don't understand what the hell's going on, that's not enough. It still leaves you in a position of making your life smoother, yes. But that doesn't mean you're more satisfied. You're still watching. Why are you watching? Because you want what you're watching. What other people are doing successfully, you want too. This moment is so distinct for you, but it was some time ago. It was some time ago when you last spoke to whatever that was, and it made you feel really good from a personal place. But it also ended in disappointment. Let's jump over here to this Ten of Cups. I'm going to go ahead and switch. Let's see that Ten of Cups, please. Five of Cups. Three of Pentacles, the Devil. Oh, smuckers. I was wondering if somebody was in there with you. I'm not trying to flip a them off. I see the last connection you made that was meant to be for you doesn't feel so good today. No wonder this is a faraway memory. The last time you felt personally, individually engaged from a place of self-love. Nine of Cups is self-love. Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's under the premises that because we understand we love ourselves, we're trying to get to ourselves what makes us happy. The last time I saw you engage with something at a personal level that says, I love this the way I love myself, it ended in disappointment, and it's fuzzy and it's far away. But it impacted you. That's the last time you can honestly remember communicating from a happy place in your heart. And I'm sorry it ended in disappointment. I see why you people watch now. I see why you people watch. I see why you relationship watch. I see it. I get it. I got you tied into things that are not good for you. That's why you said I'm not making any more decisions about this shit. This is probably as good as it gets. Three of Pentacles, the Devil, Five of Cups. Whatever it is that you are attached to is very disappointing. And it represents one more. It represents one more decision in your life where you feel it was a bad decision. It's still with you today. But to be clear, in case I did not make this clear, what I saw for you here that represents happiness, that actually represents you in terms of happiness, is no longer with you. What is with you today, what is with you into present day, current 3D energy, is not happy. It's not fulfilling at all. It's the opposite of that. I was wondering, you remember? Go back, rewind that. I said, are you with somebody or not? Because if you are, that's not good. Because it makes you feel like you are still forced to watch others' happiness. That's because you are in there with somebody. Somebody's in there with you. And you're still in a point of view or position of watching other people be happy. And kind of coveting that for yourself. And then you're like, nope. Just another bad pattern. I won't do it. Look, I don't have a great history, Christina, of choosing investments, moving towards them, leaving them. I get the place and time and person screwed up constantly. I don't want to decisions with that anymore. So you kind of put that gear in neutral, right? Okay. Coming up for you soon is a distinct feeling in that Ten of Cups, which is supposed to be emotionally supportive, is the feeling of poor attachment. And it's not very good. It's barely cooperative, and it feels like it's coming from a bad place. That's because I see now why. I see now why you've kind of chosen to coast and stand by what you're coasting with, because you're like, I can't trust myself with these decisions. I always seem to screw them up. Coming, going, leaving, commitment. I'd just rather coast with what I got. Honey, what you got hurts you. Whatever Ten of Cups you're currently engaging in is another representation of those choices. And you're like, yeah, I know. Why do you think I refuse to make any more fucking decisions, Christina? I understand. All the more reason you not wanting to address this represents the fear. Is this good enough for you? Five of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Devil. Abandonment, breakage, this is not what I want. Three of Pentacles, the Devil. But I feel like I got to keep. It's the fear-based pattern. You keeping this is also a fear-based pattern. You know that, right? But you're like, if I exit it though, what if I screw that decision up? Which means I might have the opportunity to enter something else, and then I might screw that one up. Where does it stop? And you're saying it kind of stops with me. This is where I'm at. Or you can stop saying I'm going to rise above it all and force myself to be brave and commit to something I don't want, and ask yourself where all these decisions come from. Really do some inner work there and healing, and why you have made the choices you had that led you up to this day, and saying, this is as good as it gets, and I kind of just watching other people form happy unions, and I don't expect that for myself, not anymore. Yeah, I'm challenging you today. At this moment, I am. It's no wonder from a place of independence, you would feel obligated to take on a tower that you say you don't know if you can deal with that. Whatever this is does not bring out the best in you. It does not inspire the best in you. I would ask you, do you want this for yourself? But I know you don't. I know you don't. That's a stupid question. I know you don't want this for you. But you're also saying, if you exit it, it could be another bad decision. Because you don't trust your history with your decisions. Particularly as it regards to forming connections in your intimate circle. Okay, this is going to be one of those situations where I can honestly say, would you rather be this, or is it really that bad that you be on your own? Between this and being on my own, I'd choose to be on my own. I'd infinitely prefer it. If you're with someone and you feel lonely at the end of the day, you might as well be on your own. Because somehow it makes it more lonely, knowing that there's someone there and they probably shouldn't be. That makes it that much worse. What is so bad about you leaving this? What is so bad about you being on your own? It wouldn't be one more bad decision, honey. It would probably be a good one. It doesn't look emotionally supportive or healthy at all. Let's jump on over here to your Ten of Pentacles, please. It's in your strengths. Let's see that Ten of Pentacles, please. Show me that Ten of Pentacles. Kind of like, I know what you're saying. You're saying it's the better of the devil I know. Ha ha ha. Besides, I'm not very good with this shit anyway. I always screwed up. No, boo-boo. You're not challenging yourself enough with that tower. I'm not giving up on you. I'm not giving up on you. I don't care what you've told yourself. I personally am not giving up on you. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Any Aquarius that can identify with this, let's say you've been there, you've done that, you moved on, and you figured out what was right for you, and that you stopped getting yourself locked into these negative thinking patterns that everything I do is a failure. I want you to relate that. Tell the Aquarius that in present day can relate to this. Tell it to them in a way that they can relate to. Okay? Because when you're in it, it's very, very easy to give that. I give up. This is as good as it gets. I give up. It's so easy to get lost in that when you're in it every day. I knew something was wrong when I saw you watching other people's happiness and not convinced that it was for you. I knew something was wrong. God dang it. Oh. Judgment, King of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups. Do you remember that feeling you had? And I granted you, I know the last time you talked, it hurt to lose it. I know. But under that Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, the King of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, it's your choice. Your world that you create is your choice. I have to agree on it. That's why I'm not giving up on you, because you haven't thought of it this way. The Aquarius I'm looking at says you have not thought of it this way, or your viewpoint is so narrow and negative that you don't know how to see it this way. And I'm telling you, it's here. Judgment, that same King of Pentacles, that same determination you have to turn your back on all this prospect of self-choice. Okay, because that's what we're talking about today. And to see your choices as positive and not negative frees you exponentially in ways you don't understand yet. Put the power and trust of faith in your decisions in you and not old experiences. The whole point of old experiences is to learn from them so we don't keep repeating them. It's not enough to say as a Hierophant, I'll never screw up again. I'm just going to stand by this indefinitely. That's not good enough, because the Hierophant can be used against you too. If he can be used to reinforce any decision, that's what he does, bless him. He means well, but he can be used, just like the Emperor, to reinforce any decision. It's just at the spiritual level. So you can do that. But the same way you would take pride in your everyday 3D reality, so too is it your choice to be happy. King of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. But that means you have to have trust and faith in you and your decisions. Not just what you've built, but what you understand about yourself to be true. And how can you understand about what yourself is true if you keep ignoring it or trying to write it off or leave it alone or not deal with it anymore? That's Judgment. You got a lesson here, honey. It's not enough to just work and get by. You got to live. You have to trust yourself to live, to make good choices, to live. To not just watch and be content by watching other people, but to feel it for yourself. You have to have that instinct. And that means you can't give in to cynicism. You can't give in to, I just don't want to think about it anymore and write it off. This is as good as it gets. No, it doesn't. I'm happy to tell you otherwise. No, it doesn't. Nothing about a Five of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Devil is healthy. It's a slow poisoning. This is freedom. Your pride clearly comes from what you've built. And if that's true, you can choose happiness too. It's a lesson for you to understand your equal, not your lesser. That means owning who you are and what it is that you really want. Six of Swords in your environment. I saw it for you a couple times. I used to people watch too, but for very different reasons. I like to analyze people's faces, their expressions. And I stopped doing it because I realized how boring most people are. I can tell when somebody's going through the motions of a conversation. I can tell when somebody's forcing expression. I can tell this, that, and the other. It became increasingly rare to see someone just stop and reflect and enjoy their moment. Those are the faces I used to look for. I don't see those anymore. They're usually too buried in a phone like that. No one's allowed to have an organic moment anymore. You know? You always got to be perceived as being busy or important or something. What a waste. That's why I tell the people all the time who are in my intimate circle, they know better. I'm not attached to my phone. If I call you back, I call you back. I return your text, I return your text. I don't live and die by my phone. It's funny, I'm on social media, but I don't allow it to take over my life. I set the rules, not the technology, right? But your case is different. You're people watching by proxy, particularly as it relates to their happiness. I want you to have that hope for you. Three of Swords, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. I see you very much wanting to be in a position in your environment to leave pain behind, so that way you can start feeling things again. The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. The feelings with you, the thoughts with you, it's growing. I don't know what you will actually do with it, but it's a growing thought, it's a growing feeling, and I don't blame you. I see where you're coming from. So you really haven't given up all hope then. I know you didn't. Otherwise you wouldn't watch. You covet what you desire. So you can go ahead and tell me you're not going to try anymore because you always screw up. I don't believe you. Neither do you. There's something in your environment that you wish to leave behind, and it strongly represents pain and disappointment. Your two knights would like to take action towards this. Whether or not you will let them, that's up to you. Tarot doesn't dictate action, you do. Let's see the moon, please. Oh, I have an idea of what your fears are. I would, and your hopes too, for that matter. Four Swords, Four of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. In your moon, when I clarify it, it's actually a very simple wish. You want to know what it is? You want to learn how to let go. That you would like to learn how to let go. That you would like to learn how to leave this behind. No matter what you've told yourself. It's almost like you're saying, whatever it is I committed, whatever it is, let me put it this way, whatever it is I last committed to, that's what's going to stick, because all I do is seem to make fear-based pattern devil decisions. About what I stick to or leave behind, I always seem to screw it up. So the last thing I committed to, that's what's going to stick. So we know that kind of thinking doesn't help, it doesn't improve, it doesn't work, and that doesn't mean it's healed. It just means it's what you've agreed to stick to. Okay, like I said. But under your moon, you would actually like hope on how to leave this behind and mean it. You're looking for something to tell you what to do and how to do it. The Hanged Man, Four of Pentacles, the Four Swords. Let's see that Eight of Wands. Let's see that Eight of Wands. Let's see that Eight of Wands. Let's see that Eight of Wands, please. I think you're that Aquarius who watches tarot for inspiration. Well, I hope this is inspiration for real life decision making, as opposed to, I hope something new is thrown at me so I can completely change my way of life. No. This is your real hope and inspiration, dare I say, wake-up call. If you really resonate with this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It starts with the acceptance that you want to change and that you can trust your decisions to do so. The Hermit, the Hierophant, the Queen of Cups. There's something in your heart space that you want to heal. You want to know what it is? Doesn't take a genius. When was the last time you were happy? The last time you felt good and honestly from the heart? You loved to speak, possibly take actions towards something the way you love yourself. It's the last time you recognized your happiness and not watching others. You will be talking to them soon. And that's the next time I see you commit to something that actually makes you feel good and not torn down. You wish to heal with it, the Hermit. I trust that. Not all this gobbledygook. I say that Queen of Cups is them. I don't know why. I just do. I'm not saying that you don't have a beautiful heart. I know you do. You think whatever your feelings are represent bad decisions and poor intent. I know better because I can actually see you. I see your process underneath all this. I see the gentleness of your heart and that you've likely made decisions for fear of being hurt. Well, guess what? Those decisions can hurt you too if you don't understand them. The last time you honestly understood that you were happy and that you were talking to somebody who represented love like you love yourself, it was some time ago, but it's also in your future. And now that's a proper Hierophant. That's a healthy Hierophant. With the proposition of healthy healing via communication, I believe it first. I see them responding. I'm glad to see you exerting some freedom of will. That's an actual good representation of you. It's not enough to coast and it's not enough to covet. I want you to want this, not the way that you would still love some part of yourself that you can remember wanting to love yourself and to give you what you want that made you happy. That's a start. Everybody's, oh my goodness. Oh no, why did I do that? Okay, letters Q, M, grapes. Someone enjoys their grapes, wine, fertility, productivity, health, vitality, and a foodie, of course. The zombie, the drudgery of the day in to day out. I can see that. Cat in reverse, not listening to ourselves. The great white shark in reverse. For some, no pursual, no sense of pursual for self. We want to reverse that. That's part of that zombie energy, where we don't feel inclined to help ourselves because we're not feeling inclined to love ourselves, especially if we don't trust ourselves. Also, of course, the representation of Scorpio energy and the crown, the one that wears the crown, more the earth energy, and then, of course, someone of importance. Okay. Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. For those Aquariuses who've been through something like this, like I said, please do share your thoughts in a way that others can relate. Okay? Take care. Be well.